Floor is yours, Mel.
Thank you very much, Ruth. I'll share my screen now. Okay. Thanks very much for joining us, and you're very welcome to this first workshop of the SEC Winter Workshop Series. As you can see from the schedule of workshops there that were presented, this is one of many. So it would be a good idea if you can treat this as just one piece of information and try and attend as many of these as possible to give yourself a better platform to get through the winter and to stay well and warm, which is a key focus of the overall workshop series. So just to let you know who I am, my name is Mel Gavin. I work for the Atlantic Technological University. It's one of the more recent technological universities to have formed, and I am part of the Contract Research Unit, which is a team fully dedicated to external support. So my background is I'm an engineer, and we have been mentors on the SEC program since 2016, and currently we work with a team of mentors across the Border and West region. So today's workshop is focusing on reading your meters, both your gas and electricity meters, understanding your bill, and helping you to think about switching suppliers, which is still a good option, and I'll explain that a bit more when we get to it. Hopefully from this you will learn a little, hopefully, and be able to think about this more comprehensively. So as I've already said, and Ruth has already introduced, the next workshop, workshop 2, is all about keeping well and warm this winter. We all know that energy prices have increased, but our hope is that nobody is cold in their homes, and that you can use the lessons here to stay warm in your home this winter. So we'll move on to the first part of the workshop, which is reading, taking a meter reading. In order to do this and to prepare for this, first of all, you need to know where your meter is, and if it's in a meter box, where your meter key is. Ideally, keep your meter key in a location with all your energy bills, or somewhere that you're going to remember. Keep a pen and notepad ready to take the numbers, or use your phone to take a picture. Make sure you can reach your meter safely. Sometimes older meters are often high up on the wall if they're inside. So keep a small step ladder close by, or a stool, and ask a family member or a friend for help if you're not sure, or if you feel unsafe about taking the meter reading. Now, the other thing to check is which type of meter you have, and we're going to cover the following meter types. So for electricity, there are the older mechanical meters, there are the newer electronic meters, there are pay-as-you-go meters, and then there's the smart meters. So we're going to cover each one of those one by one, and then we'll move on to gas meters. So there's two common types of gas meter. That's a digital meter, and then the older dial clock meter. So with the mechanical meter, this is what it looks like. These are the ones that we would have grown up with. You may have a 24-hour meter with just one row of digits, or you may have a day and night meter with 2 rows of digits. You read the digits from left to right and ignore any of the figures in red or surrounded by a red box. So for day and night meters, make sure you note the reading for both rows before you leave the meter, before you get down off your stepladder. So for the electronic meters, it will have a single digital screen with a single row of digits. You read the display from left to right and ignore the small letter or the number on the left. The small letter or the number on the left tells you what you're reading, and I'll get to that at the bottom here. If you're on a simple 24-hour tariff, then the reading is already displayed on the screen. If you have a day and night tariff, then you use the blue scroll button to change the display for the different readings. So this is when, as you push the blue button, the small letter or number on the left will tell you which reading is currently displayed. So you can see them here. A small d is date, small t is time of day. It's no harm to check that these are right. I've never known one to be wrong yet, but it's a good idea to check it. If it's a small 0, then what you're reading is your total units over a 24-hour period. So that'll be your day plus night. The small 2 is your day units, and the small 1 is your night units. So make sure to record the day units and the night units and the total units whenever you're taking a meter reading. The pay-as-you-go meter, you don't necessarily need to submit a meter reading because you're paying before you use your electricity or as you use your electricity. But you may want to record the meter reading just for your own records, your own use. To read the meter on this, you press the number 9 on the keypad, and that's as simple as it is. Now, even if you do have a pay-as-you-go meter, a meter reader will still call the main reader from time to time, generally on a quarterly basis. The smart meters that we've all heard of, and some of us may have, these will support smart or time of use tariffs. So these are tariffs that different electricity suppliers will offer. So the smart meter is fitted by ESB networks, but you need to contact your electricity supplier to understand what smart tariffs they can offer you. Most electricity suppliers are offering 3 main tariffs, and that's a peak energy time between 5 and 7 in the evening, and this will be the most expensive tariff because this is when the most pressure is on the electrical grid. There will be a nighttime tariff from 11 p.m. to 8 a.m. and that's usually the cheapest. And then there will be an off-peak tariff for the rest of the daytime outside of the peak time that should be cheaper, obviously, than the peak energy time. Some other suppliers are offering some extra tariffs, such as a cheaper tariff for the weekend or bank holidays, and a tariff for charging your electric vehicle, usually at night. Now, most tariffs and smart devices are expected, more tariffs and smart devices are expected to be offered as this develops over time. The whole point of this program is to allow you to choose a tariff that suits how you live. For example, if you tend to leave most of your washing and drying in the weekends, you could select a tariff that has a cheaper weekend rate and plan your laundry around that. You may be a person who works nights and spends time during the day, and again, you can adjust your tariff to suit. You may also be able to avail of smart devices at home that would turn on during the cheaper times. So the whole point is to allow you to control the electricity and reduce your costs. Now, moving on to gas meters, as I said, there are 2 types in general. There's a digital one. Now, there are 3 types of digital meters that you can see in the diagrams below, but they essentially work the same. You read the digits from left to right and ignore any figures in red, very similar to the electric meters. Or you ignore any figures after a decimal point or a comma. And then the other gas meter type is the older dial clock type. It's an older meter. It's generally obsolete now. Nobody would be fitting these anymore. You can contact Gas Networks Ireland if you have one of these, and they will fit a new digital meter free of charge. But if you want to take a meter reading from this, the method is shown here. So you ignore the top 2 dials, the ones that are crossed out with a blue cross here, and then read the 4 lower dials from left to right. You note the number that the hand is pointing to, and if it's halfway between 2 figures, then note the one anti-clockwise from the pointer. So it's an older type, and hopefully you should be able to get these replaced if you still have them. Now, the point of all this is to help you submit regular meter readings, and also to help you keep a record, if you want to, of your electricity and your gas use. The main reason behind submitting regular meter readings is that without those, your supplier tries to guess how much you've used on your bills. When the suppliers have to estimate your usage, then it's likely you're being either overcharged or undercharged. If you're undercharged, you will get a refund at some stage, or it'll be adjusted on your bill. So that may seem like a bonus, but it's not really. It's better to have the money in your own bank account rather than someone else's. If you're undercharged for a long period, then the adjustment after a meter reading is taken can be a huge shock and a large bill in one go. So regular meter readings will mean, first of all, that your bills are more accurately showing how much you use over the year and that you avoid those shocks. So the next part after that then is understanding your bill. So if you're submitting regular meter readings, then your bills should be accurate. The first thing that I would encourage everyone to do is to keep an energy file. So keep all of your bills as they come in one folder. It may be an idea to keep your meter box key there as well. If you have online billing only, then keep them on a folder on your PC or on your laptop. So you can use this to check for changes in your bill, check for changes in costs to unit charges, costs to standing charges, any other things that may occur. It's also useful when you're submitting meter readings, because you'll need your meter number, your GPRN or your MPRN, to do that. And also, when you start to look at switching suppliers, you have all the information there ready to go. So different supplier bills, they do look different, but they generally have similar information, and they have to have the same very important information. It will have your account number. It will have the meter number, either the gas meter number or the electricity meter number. That's a unique number for your gas connection or your electricity connection, and it's to do with your address. You usually need that to submit a meter reading, as I said, and also to switch suppliers. The bill will also show the type of reading that bill is based on. This is a good check for you to see if you're still getting estimated reads. Then it's time to submit a meter reading as soon as possible, so that your next bill is more accurate. The unit costs are the charge per unit of energy, and that may be different for day and night rates if you have a different day and night electricity rate. So this is one of the most important ones. This is the one that really impacts on your total bill. Each energy supplier, whether it's gas or electricity, their website does provide very good guidance to help you understand your bill. And if you're not comfortable with going online, then please get help from a family member or a friend. So once you're submitting regular meter readings and you can understand your bill and you've got your energy file together, then you can really start to think about switching your energy supplier. At the moment, that may seem like hollow advice, because we all know that energy prices have increased. Regardless of the price increase, all of the energy suppliers are still competing for our custom. They still want more customers on their books. Because of that, they will still offer discounts and reduced rates, at least for the first year. So when you sign up with a new supplier, you'll often find that your existing supplier might contact you and offer you something better to stay on as their customer. You can save hundreds of euros by switching. Even just on electricity, even just on a single fuel, you will save more if you are a dual fuel customer. So again, there's no point going to do this without some preparation. If you have your energy file already set up, you really do have everything you need to start looking online at the switching websites. As you have your bills in front of you, take a note of your unit charges, so your euro per kilowatt hour or your euro per unit, and these are the main things that are going to influence your choice. So they're the main difference between the offers. Don't forget to check the standing charges also. So switcher.ie or bonkers.ie are very useful websites, very user friendly. Again, if you're not comfortable with going online, please ask a family member to help you with this, and try to plan to switch every year. You may enter into contract for a year. Keep that in mind and try and switch and look at switching at the end of your contract. So the last slide we have here is just to let you know that SEI have launched the Reduce Your Use Home Energy Plan. I've signed up to it myself. It is to help you not just reduce overall use, but to stay warm and to reduce your bills. I'd encourage everyone to sign up to it. I'm hoping for some useful advice myself. That is the end of my slides, so I'll stop sharing.